In February 2026, U.S. President Donald Trump stated that he would be involved, indirectly, in upcoming nuclear talks between the United States and Iran in Geneva. His comment immediately drew international attention because relations between the two countries have been tense for decades, particularly over Iran's nuclear program. By saying he would participate indirectly rather than directly, Trump signaled a diplomatic strategy that blends influence, distance, and leverage. The statement reflects not only the complexity of U.S.-Iran relations, but also the delicate balance between diplomacy and deterrence in modern international politics. The conflict over Iran's nuclear program has been a central issue in global diplomacy for many years. The United States and its allies argue that Iran must not be allowed to develop nuclear weapons, as this could destabilize the Middle East and trigger a regional arms race. Iran, on the other hand, insists that its nuclear program is for peaceful purposes such as energy production and medical research. In 2015, the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, JCPOA, attempted to limit Iran's uranium enrichment activities in exchange for sanctions relief. However, the agreement later collapsed amid disagreements and shifting political leadership in Washington and Tehran. Since then, efforts to revive or replace the deal have faced numerous obstacles. Trump's announcement of indirect involvement suggests that he intends to influence the negotiations without personally sitting at the table. Indirect involvement can take many forms. It may include guiding U.S. negotiators behind the scenes, setting strategic goals, communicating through intermediaries, or coordinating closely with allies. This approach allows a president to shape outcomes while avoiding the risks of direct diplomatic engagement. If talks succeed, the administration can claim credit. If they fail, political responsibility may be shared with negotiators or circumstances beyond direct control. The choice of Geneva as the location for talks is also significant. Switzerland has long served as a neutral ground for diplomatic negotiations, especially between adversaries. Holding talks in Geneva sends a message that both sides are willing to engage in dialogue despite deep mistrust. However, the atmosphere surrounding the negotiations remains tense. Reports indicate increased military activity in the region, including U.S. deployments and Iranian military exercises. Such actions demonstrate that while diplomacy is underway, both sides are prepared for the possibility of escalation. Trump's broader foreign policy style provides important context for understanding his statement. Throughout his political career, he has often combined strong rhetoric with negotiation tactics. He frequently emphasizes strength and deterrence, arguing that a firm stance increases bargaining power. By referencing previous military actions or potential consequences if no deal is reached, he may be attempting to pressure Iran into concessions. At the same time, expressing willingness to engage in talks shows an understanding that diplomacy remains essential in preventing conflict. For Iran, the negotiations are equally complex. Iranian leaders must balance domestic political pressures with international demands. Hardliners within the country often oppose compromise with the United States, viewing it as a sign of weakness. At the same time, economic sanctions have placed significant strain on Iran's economy, creating incentives for diplomatic solutions that could lead to sanctions relief. Iranian officials have repeatedly stated that any agreement must respect national sovereignty and allow for peaceful nuclear development under international oversight.